I'm Seth LaFriends here with Callan Wheeler.
Today we're going to be talking about our role in agriculture and FFA and our community. So,
welcome to NEMO Ag. So, I recently just got back from the National FFA Convention where the Clark County FFA Chapter's Knowledge Team took first in the nation. Megan Walker with High Individual and Harrison Parker second, Braden Thompson was sixth, and Aiden Plinge was 13th. I know you personally did knowledge your freshman year. Can you tell us something about that?
Yeah, the knowledge test is a 100 question multiple choice test over the history of the FFA and the FFA handbook and how the organization works. So you'll have to know things like the national officers, when the FFA was made, all the little details about what run the FFA.
So yeah, me and Callan here are both officers in our local FFA chapter at Clark County. He's the treasurer and I'm the sentinel. As sentinel, I'm stationed by the door, which means that I welcome people as they come into the meeting room. I kind of care for the meeting room and paraphernalia such as the binders and the named things. What do you do, Callan?
So as the treasurer, I have to keep record of all receipts and disbursements. So all the money that is coming in and leaving the chapter, I have to record that. And that's kind of my job. I give monthly reports on how the account of our chapter is doing at meetings.
And really that's a tough obstacle, being how our chapter sells about $75,000 worth of fruit a year. And we have other fundraising events to kind of raise money for, national convention, because that itself is very expensive. Then we have WLC for us officers in the summer. That's really expensive. Then trap shoots and contest teams, all that adds up, so we have to make money for it, which you have to keep records of. I myself am part of the trap team. We went to state this year, had a pretty good state shoot. I think we were somewhere in the top 10 for the FFA class, but we haven't got the official records back. But I do know for a fact trap shoots are like $500 a piece to go to, so that's another big thing we have to fundraise for. Contest teams, we were both a part of the agronomy team last year.
Yeah, for agronomy, what you do is you take a test and you have to identify crops and weeds. So I think that's a pretty interesting contest to do. It's really good if you're ever wanting to do anything like the agronomy or farming industry or cattle. You'll have to know what grass or weeds are growing in your pasture and stuff like that.
And that's another thing. I work for Schmidt Spraying, and that's kind of stuff we look at, what we're killing, and having that knowledge from agronomy last year about what the weeds are and stuff that could kill them has really helped me in the short term, but I don't know, what's it done for you?
Yeah, I think it helps me. Like, we'll just go out and walk through the pastures, check cows, and I can just identify grasses, weeds, and stuff, certain clovers all growing in the ground. And I think it's kind of just good knowledge to know, interesting knowledge to know, because when you know those plants and those things, whenever you learn more, like you can learn what clovers are really high in protein and good to be consumed by cattle or sheep or goats and stuff like that. So that's all just good knowledge to have.
Yeah.
So what livestock do you have, Seth?
I personally raise a breed of hair sheep. They're a cross between Dorper and Katahdin. They are genetically made to be very resistant against worms and other things. Basically, they're very hardy. It takes a lot to kill them. Their rate of gain is very high, and they're expensive to get into, but once you're there, it's a good place to be. I personally used to raise goats. I raised goats for about 10 years, but goats are a lot of work, but it doesn't take very much to kill a goat. They're not very hardy, and once they get sick, it's hard to bring them back from it. My parents raised cattle. I'm not real high into that side, but I know you're a pretty big cattle person.
Yeah, we raise crossbred cattle. We have mostly Sem Angus cows, which is a cross between Simmental and Angus, and some Hereford in there too. So what we kind of breed for is we want good mother cows. They have good calves to get them on the ground and they're alive, and specifically a low birth weight calf. So the cow has no problem getting the calf out. We don't have to pull anything hardly, and once they hit the ground, they have really high weaning weight and yearly weight. Those are some of the EPDs we look for in our bulls, as well as the heifers that we buy from other places for replacements. But our calves, we have them born small and they grow really quickly, so it's easy on the mothers whenever they're having them, and still can make us money whenever we sell them.
Well, that was the thing with the hair sheep. They most times are low birth weight, but this year we had something new. All of our ewes had singles, which they were bigger singles, but this breed of hair sheep had no problems as far as having them, and once they were on the ground and up, they just took off as far as size. Naturally, being a single, you are getting more milk, where if you were a twin or a triplet, you'd be fighting for it. But they're pretty. The cows we raise they're a mixed breed between mostly Angus. We have some Hereford mixed in. My dad tries to shoot for black white-faced calves because at the sale barns we sell at, that's kind of what they're wanting. Black white-faced or just straight black calves. And with the Angus Hereford mix, sometimes you get more white on than what you want, but most of the time you get that black white-faced calf, and that's usually what we try to stick with. That's what we do as far as cattle. Now, me and Callan are going to talk about our SAEs. My SAE personally started out my freshman year as goat production. I raised 10 head of pure boar, traditional, half dapple nannies, and crossed them with a dapple mixed with Nubian, which is a dairy goat, so the kids would have a higher rate of gain, and I ended up selling out last spring, so now I'm switching my SAE to sheep production because I bought into sheep, and now I raise 10 head of Dorper Katahdin mixed ewes, and use the lambs that sell them at market. Usually end up butchering a few and selling the meat, but that's as far as my SAE goes. How about yourself, Callan?
My SAE is a ag service SAE, so I provide a service for other people. My service is drone photography, so I have a drone that I fly up and I take aerial pictures of land for auction, or just custom pictures for anybody that wants maybe a picture of their house from above or their farm. I can take pictures for them like that. So since we're still on the topic of FFA, what are some of the things you guys did at National Convention up in Indianapolis?
Well, we did quite a few different things. We did Courtesy Corps, which is a very good thing to get state degree points. Basically, what I did personally was walk around the mega store where they sold FFA apparel and fold the clothes that people pick up and don't fold back correctly. And I mean, a lot of other people did. They ran the cash registers at the mega store, which it's a good act for community service for those people who work there. They don't have to do all that because it can get quite hectic when you have 65,000 people crammed into this. Well, it is a large building, but 65,000 people is a lot of people. Then we had the sessions. We watched the vice president retire, and then we also watched some other fellow FFA members do talent shows. They did a lot of singing, which I personally was probably my favorite part. We went out and we ate a lot of food. We went to an Italian restaurant that was pretty good. We went to a barbecue place that was pretty good. Walked around the career show, met a lot of new people, and gave me an outlook on all the different careers that FFA could open doors for you. Really, if you set your mind to anything, you can pretty well do it. What are you thinking, Callum?
Yeah, personally, I've never got to go to the national convention because of football, but I wish I could have gone because it does really sound like a good experience and a lot of fun too. But Yeah, due to football, I've never been able to go. So freshman year I would have went, but because of COVID, it was virtual and wasn't able to go.
Yeah. Well, here recently we held a petting zoo where I was not a part of it, but were you there?
Mm-hmm.
How'd that go?
Yeah, it was pretty good. We had all sorts of animals kind of up at the fairgrounds here. Mules, donkeys. There were some bulls there, I think, some horses, dogs, and little kids from elementary school came over, and we kind of showed them around, let them see what kind of animals we have, and then we gave a demonstration on tractor safety, PTO safety, loader safety, and mower safety as well. So that was just kind of a good little exposure thing for the younger kids in our area to kind of show them what kind of agriculture goes on in our community.
And it was a really good way to get some of our SAE projects out there, kind of show people what we've been doing. But that's what we've been doing recently in the FFA chapter. Thank you for your time, and next week we'll be talking about more on the row crop side. I know today we talked about our SAEs, more livestock, and we're
FFA
try to,
kind of stuff.
FFA kind of
Yeah.
stuff, and I think we're going to try to stick to row crop next time, so see you there.